much credit do you give yourself? I mean, the case can be made. You've been doing this a while. There's no Deshaun Watson without some of the principles, you instituted. I mean, every quarterback in Texas plays this now. How much credit do you give yourself for being the standard right now for the dual threat quarterback?
You know me well enough. I think it's an interesting, in the history of college football with Rich Rodriguez and with Kevin Wilson, and they were a big part of it. So Rich kind of was a big part of it when he was at Clemson as an OC. And then the guy that doesn't get enough credit now is Bill Snyder.
Yeah.
He was doing it because his name doesn't come up. But he's kind of the godfather of it. When I first became head coach at Bowling Green, I went to visit him. And Scott Linehan and Coach Smith at Louisville. So there's a little pocket of people that went out, and then also you start seeing in Texas, the guy at SMU, Chad Morris, kept going. So I think that's an interesting chapter in the
Michael at K-State in '98. Michael Bishop. Yeah, you're right about Snyder. Yeah.
Randy Walker almost lost his job. Him and Kevin Wilson went down to Clemson. And Rich Rod, they actually took it verbatim from Clemson.
Took the offense?
Verbatim. I love hearing Rich tell the story. I'm watching Clemson playing or Northwestern playing. I hear our same play calls.
Wow.
Coach, the challenges of stopping Watson and those receivers on the outside. What can you do? As much as you can let on, obviously.
Well, I think when your quarterback plays comfortable, that's a problem. So you have to confuse a quarterback, and that's either pressures or if we play cover one, which is man free, which is we play a lot, or quarters, which we play a lot, we have no chance. But if you change things up, and make a guy like that uncomfortable, you have a shot. And I think we're fortunate to have three corners that can play at a high level. And they have three receivers that play at a high level.
What have you seen out of Dwayne Haskins over the last few weeks?
Big time.
How do you think he's preparing, not just to help you guys prepare for Clemson, but to potentially be the next guy?
I was disappointed with him. He accepted his role for about 2 months, September, October, which happens. But the last month he's been on fire. He's done a great job. I can see a great future in Dwayne. He's got it.
Urban, what's the difference in degree of difficulty of becoming a champion and then also having to maintain excellence?
Well, it's very energizes you to chase it. It exhausts you to maintain it, and that's where I got to learn. It's where we're doing a good job. We didn't maintain a championship after the 14 championship, and we're maintaining a high level of play. But it is difficult. You lose 9 juniors to the NFL draft. You lose coaches to be head coaches, and it's exhausting. When you put your staff together the first time and everybody's on the same page running up the hill, it's exhilarating. It's fun. It's tough. It's hard work. But once you get there, now you got to start worrying about agents. You got to start worrying about all the stuff. That's exhausting.
How would you describe your coaching style versus Dabo Swinney's coaching style?
I've never coached with him. I know they practice really hard. You can just tell the way they play. I don't know other than that. I've never coached with him.
Did you learn anything about him facing him in the Orange Bowl a couple years ago?
Yeah, they are loaded now. They had Sammy Watkins and a great quarterback, and that defensive end was a great passer. They were loaded. They were better than us. We weren't a great team then. Very bad on defense. But I know Clemson very well. So great players and good coaches. What's that? I can't hear you.
Jake Guillermo from Clemson came forward talking about his depression and anxiety issues. Did you know about that? And what do you say the fact that he's coming out talking about it as a player?
I just don't know much about it. I'm sorry.
Well, because he was talking about his depression and anxiety issues, and then when you did the thing with Bleacher Report, just talking about the subject, being more open to talking about the subject.
Well, I'm not being disrespectful. I just don't know his story. I know many others, include myself. And I think for people that work really hard at their job, which most everybody does, and you got to just learn to call it a gift. You have to learn to control and manage that gift a little bit. So I share that because our players do that. High-end performing players, high-end performing coaches, doctors, teachers, policemen. My journey, I found out that's the whole theme of that report was it's not the lone wolf. Thanks.